Alright everybody, let's get right into it. We're talking another Marvel movie rewatch today. We are all the way back up to 2019's Avengers Endgame. I really love this movie, but I have problems with this movie, right? Like there's two big problems with this movie and you'll probably never be able to guess, but we'll talk about it a little bit later in the movie because they happen towards the end of the movie. But I do like that in Avengers Infinity War, they lose. They lose hard, right? And all of us fans felt that loss and were so devastated that we all were immediately ready to put our butts in seats and watch Avengers Endgame. And what do? They start the movie out with the only two people that weren't in Infinity War. They start with Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, and then they get to Ant-Man. And then now that connects you back into this movie and gets you rolling. But I do like that poor Hawkeye was just with his family. His whole family gets dusted, but Hawkeye doesn't. And he ends up becoming the Ronin. And the little mohawk, faux hawk haircut that he's got with this tattooed arm. I was about it. I really want to see more of that Ronin. And just the Ronin we got to see in Hawkeye, the TV show. Can't wait to watch that again coming up this Christmas. I wish they had another Christmas TV show going this season. When they did the Christmas a couple of years ago, it was awesome. And then last year we got the Guardians holiday special, which I'll also watch this coming up holiday season. I really like the seasonal holiday stuff. They've done a great job with. I'm really loving it. You know, if they come out with they're coming out Werewolf by Night in color for this Halloween, but like a Halloween show or like a Christmas show, I think those are gonna be real big hits for Marvel in the future, so they should continue that. But Scott comes back from the quantum realm and he'd only been gone for 5 hours, even though it's been 5 years. I can't believe they skip ahead 5 years and just crush everybody like that. But they have to end up going back in time. They get Tony's help. Tony gets rescued, right? Like having Tony in space at the beginning, right? Just surviving on fumes with Nebula, him and Nebula playing little flick field goal, friggin' whatever. Oh my god, dude, it's such a good movie. They go back in time, they see their original Avengers group. Cap has to fight Cap. That's America's ass. That's a great scene. Like he uses everything he knows, right? Because this Cap was a younger, more rambunctious Cap, and then the Cap from Endgame from the future had been through all this, had known about Hydra, had known about the Mind Stone in the scepter. We knew about all this shit, so he used that against him. He goes, Bucky's alive, and he stops and he fucking uses the shit the same way Loki did. It's so good. Tony messes it up, so they have to go back in time to a different time. Tony talks to his father, Howard, right before Tony's birth, because his wife's pregnant, he's bringing her flowers. So, I don't know, I think Tony was getting born momentarily, and Tony's, as an old man, coming back from the future into the past, talking to his father. It was, time travel is crazy. The more you're thinking about it, the more trouble you'll get yourself into, but it's craziness, but it's awesome, and it was such a good time. Seeing Thor suit up here, because the three of them, Iron Man, Cap, and Thor, have to fight Thanos first, and then they get the reinforcements, but they fight Thanos, and I love that Thor goes from just being fat, and they're like, what's he been doing? Just sitting there. And Thor goes, yep, we're gonna go get him. And he pulls the hammer, but then pulls the big hammer, the fucking, Stormbreaker. Lightning comes into him, the god of thunder that he is, and his beard gets braided up while he suits up. I thought that was a great touch. Like, he was just this big raggedy fuck, and then as soon as he suits up into Thor, his beard magically gets braided. I almost have been growing out my beard long enough so that I can braid it just like this. We also get, probably my favorite moment in all of the MCU, Cap getting to use Thor's hammer. Thor goes, I knew it. We all knew it. I remember my theater going absolutely ballistic when we saw this. Cap swings up the hammer, gets some lightning, smashes it on fucking Thanos' bitch ass. Oh, so good. And then, he gets beat up a little bit, but he stands up, motherfucker, I could do this all day. And then gets the hit Cap on your left, and we get this ginormous team-up shot with everybody piling in from the portals. We get, you know, Ant-Man, Giant Man over there doing his thing, but we see the armies coming in from Wakanda, the Wakandan ships, friggin' Wong and Doctor Strange and everybody's back. They snapped the fingers, they brought everybody back. So now we really feel like, oh my god, we won, we brought everybody back. But now we turn around, see Thanos' army from 2014 came to the future. Uh-oh, when you tend to mess with the past, it tends to mess back. And who says that? Mr. Tony Stark said that. And what does Tony have to do? Out of 14,400,001 possibilities, the one possibility that made them win was Tony sacrificing himself, snapping his fingers, I am Iron Man. God. It was such a beautiful way for the character to go out. But as a fan of Tony Stark, of RDJ, of these movies, devastation. Iron Man has been the key focal point this entire time. Devastated. Still, it's been years. Devastated. I'm still, like, it hurts. It hurts. It really does. Tony was the man. He was the man. And right next to Tony was Captain America. What happens to Cap? He gets fucking old. And we don't see how he gets old. Well, we kind of do. It's implied, but I don't like that it's implied. I wanted to see that shit happen. Cap has to go back, right? We win. Tony snaps. Tony dies. Funeral. Sad. Blah. All sad. Terrible. Cap has to go back in time and return all the stones to the exact moment they took them. Now, this brings quite a few problems. We has to bring the time stone back to where Hulk got it from Tilda Swinton's character, from the Ancient One. We got to get the time stone back to Red Skull. That alone, Cap going to see Red Skull and have to give him back a stone or whatever. How do you give back a time stone? You have to sacrifice what you love to get it. So now we get nothing in return. We just give it back, whatever. And then the time stone, he has to go back to the second attempt of the time stone. The power stone, he's got to go what? Back to Xandar. Xandar's exploded, but I guess he's going back in time so he can go back right before it explodes so that Thanos can still take it and Infinity War still happens. It makes no sense, and I want to see that. That alone is a movie. What happened to him when he went back in time? Why did the TVA not get mad at him? Why did Cap all of a sudden get old, and now he's at the same place where they were before, but now he's old? And now, you know, my problem isn't with Sam. You know, Sam getting the shield, that's wonderful. Anthony Mackie deserves it. He's done the whole Falcon. He's done the whole thing. He's been around since Winter Soldier, Civil War, how it all culminates, and we get callbacks from those movies into this movie, into Infinity War, Endgame, it all seamlessly with the Russo brothers. They did a great job. But I felt like they cut a huge part of this movie, like 30 more minutes. I would have been sitting there on the edge of my seat like, okay, what the fuck happens to Cap going back in time? And you have to show that. You have to show that. Because people aren't just accepting, oh, Chris Evans walked into a portal, said, bye, Buck, and now he's this old man handing over a shield. And then they cut to the end where you see Cap had walked into a front door and you hear the song, kiss me once and kiss me twice and kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time. It's a great song. I do love the song, but I do not love this as an ending. It was a beautiful ending at the time, but I want Captain America back, motherfucker, because then we got his girl. We got her back as Captain Carter. What happened to her? She got sliced in half like a frisbee by the frisbee. Got sliced in half by fucking Wanda. It pisses me off. It really does. But overall, I still give this a 5 out of 5 stars. I should give it 4.5 stars for what they did to my boy Cap and Iron Man. But I'm going to stick with 5 stars for now. Maybe the older I get, maybe the more I watch these movies, it will piss me off more and more, and the score will get deducted. But as of now, it's still a 5 out of 5. I would like you to comment below. What are your thoughts on this movie? What is your score out of 5 stars or 10 stars? Whatever your scale is. Check me out on Letterboxd. Go check out my movie reviews over there. Instagram, Twitter, links down in the description below. If you want to email me at comicallyboston@gmail.com. And yeah, we got some more movie reviews coming your way. We got Far From Home, Spider-Man. I kind of really like that one too. We got X-Men Dark Phoenix, oh boy. And then we got up to after the pandemic stuff. So we got Black Widow coming up. So we got some exciting stuff coming your way. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And more importantly, I am Iron Man. Peace out.